We're going to be proving that triangles are congruent today using two of the 5 basic methods. The first is side, 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 and the second is side, angle, side. So the first one, side, 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 is when you have 3 sides of one triangle congruent to 3 sides of another triangle. So here we know that this side is congruent to this side's congruent to this side's congruent to this side. Therefore, we're going to call this triangle A and this triangle B. Triangle A is congruent to triangle B. So then the next one we're going to talk about is called side, angle, side, or for short, SAS. Two sides and the included angle of one triangle are congruent to two sides and the included angle of another triangle. So this part right here, the included angle is really important. It has to be the included angle. So for these two triangles, I know that this side is equal to this side is congruent to this side, and I know that this angle, which is between these two sides, and this angle between these two sides are both right angles. They don't have to be right angles, like if you were trying to prove other triangles were congruent and you just knew that their angles were equal. That's all that matters. You don't have to know their right triangles or right angles. But we know that because right angles equal 90 degrees, these two angles have to be congruent because they both measure 90 degrees. So knowing that these three things, two sides and the included angle, we're going to call this A and this B. Therefore, we can say that triangle A is congruent to triangle B. So let's do some examples. So we're going to state whether these triangles are congruent. And if they are congruent, we're going to say whether it was by side, 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 or side, angle, side. If we find that these triangles aren't congruent, we're just going to put neither. So first we have these two triangles. And I have this side congruent to this side congruent to this side, and these two sides congruent. So therefore, their triangle 1 is congruent to triangle 2 by side, side, side. Now I'm going to look at this one. I know this side is congruent to this side. This side is congruent to this side. So far we have two congruent sides. But if you look, this angle is the included angle of these two sides. But this angle over here is not the included angle. For us to prove that these are congruent, we'd have to know that this one is congruent to this one. But since we don't know that, we have to say neither. Now this doesn't mean the triangles aren't congruent. This just means that we can't prove that they are. So we went over the first two ways to prove triangles are congruent. So make sure you come back and watch the next video, and we're going to talk about two other ways to prove triangles are congruent, called angle side angle and angle angle side.